We are so excited to have Waterman's back as our season sponsor.
They are the perfect solution for straightforward legal advice.
We know lots of you pod piggies are buying your new homes, your first homes, so Waterman's are the perfect solution for all of your legal advice.
So for straightforward legal advice, remember Waterman's.
So guys, you'll have seen that our event went live. We have the amazing The Wellness Spread on the 6th of July. It's a Sunday. We absolutely cannot wait. We hope you got your tickets.
It's at Bad Glasgow and we've got loads of different things going on. So we've got classes from Adversity Fitness, i.e. Richard.
Oi, oi.
We've got Body by Amy doing a HIIT class. We've got yoga with Jax from Reset Yoga. We've got chats from Megan McGrory, Rosie Davies, Lindsay Bornis with hypnobirthing. We've got fresh juices from Juicy. Ness there doing the first session for mum and baby and pregnant, postnatal, all sort of mummy vibes. Then we've also got Decorate Your Own Empire Biscuit with Plant Blondes.
Ooh.
But if you want any more details, it's all on our Instagram with everyone who's going to be there, what you can get, what you can buy, what
Small
you can
businesses.
shop.
Yeah.
So everything like that is all there. So we hope you can join us.
It's going to be a nice, cute, wholesome Sunday spent together. Of course, yours truly are going to be there as well. So please come along and say hello. Tickets are £20. With that, you will get your juice and you will get your class. But like Zoe says, everything is on Instagram. So please come and see us. Hi, everyone. It's 11:11. Make a wish. There you go. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Tuesday.
Imagine if you would listen to this at 11:11. As I said that.
That'd be weird.
Goodness is coming your way, baby.
It annoys me that you can't tell people your wishes. Like, I couldn't say to you there, what did you wish for?
Because it won't come true.
Exactly. That just reminded me I put the lottery on the other day. I must have not won.
Did you put the lottery on when it was meant to be something like 20 million?
It was Tuesdays.
Something crazy.
I'm a bit into that right now.
But what made you put the lottery on?
My dad
Because
and
my
brother
friend
told
texted me
to.
saying, put the lottery on tonight. And I was like, what? No one said that to me in ages.
It was 208 million on the Euro Millions.
And who won it?
Some bastard.
Did they?
Oh, it wasn't me then. Fuming about that.
By the way, imagine if you just check your app now and we were a million. What would you do?
I'd run out here, no one would ever see me
Would you get
again.
your tits out? I would.
For 208 million? God damn right.
I would all get naked.
Where does it tell you? I'm assuming I didn't win.
Well, you'd get a text and you'd maybe get a phone call.
Due results. You have no matches. Perfect. No, the reason I put it on is because I was with my dad and Adam and they put the lottery on like religiously every week.
Do they?
And I think I'd said I'm one of those people who talks about what I would do if I won, but I don't ever put it on.
Yeah.
And then Adam was like, you're the type of person that would annoyingly put it on once and you would win. So I was like, fuck it, I'm putting it on.
Would love to know the people that have won. Have they ever, like, was their numbers a lucky dip or was it their favourite set of 7 numbers?
You can't do that.
What?
If anyone has never put the lottery on and is going to do it now, don't pick numbers.
Why?
Because then you can never stop.
Right.
Or like, what if you forgot to put it on one
Well,
week?
do 2 lines then. Do 1 lucky dip, 1.
What if you forgot to put it on 1 week and they came up? You would never forgive
You would
yourself.
never forgive yourself.
My dad still remembers all his from back in the day and he puts them on like every so often. As well as like a lucky dip. And he's like, you just need to try and detach from it because he was like locked into these are my numbers and I need to do it
one
every
day you're like,
single
it's never
week.
happening for me. The next week.
Can you imagine?
Can you imagine? That would definitely happen to many people.
What would be your first thing if you won?
Oh. I don't know.
I feel like when
Probably
I was
get my tits
younger... Running down the street.
Yeah.
I used to always say I would just go to the airport and I would fuck off somewhere, like wherever there was, I would just go.
You wouldn't know, would
But
you?
see, now it's like, I know this is so boring to say, but you would kind of like...
But you'd plan it.
You would plan your spending, you would speak to someone, you would say that I'm going to give so-and-so this much and this much. That'll leave me with this. What could I then do with that? And then you would have like a logical think about it, I think now.
Yeah. Also, remember back in the day when it was like you won £1 million? Realistically, I don't think £1 million you could live a comfortable life until you die. But you wouldn't be then going to be able to pay off your parents' mortgage, your mortgage. You wouldn't really be left with an awful lot anymore.
No, if I won £1 million now and went and bought a house that I wanted, you'd be left with $500,000 probably. Or
Yeah.
like just over $500,000, right?
Yeah.
Or $750,000. By the time you then, as you said, pay it off fully, do everything you want to, maybe pay off your cars and shit
Or
like
if you
that.
stop working, you pay
And then-
yourself a wage.
And then stop working, you would run out of money.
Yeah,
The only way you wouldn't is if you kept $1 million in a bank and you got interest on it.
correct, yeah.
But you would want to use it
Yeah.
and benefit from it.
It's a hard one. But if it was £208 million, tits are it. Everywhere.
You don't need to think
tits are
about
out on the
anything.
plane.
You don't need to think about it. You've got enough to be able to like fuck some up the wall, and then I think if I'd done that, I'd be like flinging it about and all that.
Yeah. Anyway,
That was a side note.
what you been up to?
Not a huge amount, but I had a bit of a busy weekend. I was out for my anniversary, which I spoke about last week.
Don Costanzo?
Went to Don Costanzo for dinner, and we did go to Golf Fang in the end.
Oh, did you? Was it nice?
Yep. They've also got a darts bit in it now. Kind of like Flight Club vibes.
I've still never been there.
I feel like it's good, but it's not like...
Yeah. Like groundbreaking.
I actually think I prefer it in the sort of Golf Fang atmosphere.
Did you eat there as well? Oh, no, sorry. 'Cause
No.
You went there straight after Don Costanzo, sorry.
But do you know what Smoky Trotter's in there?
No way. I did not know that.
I don't think it's always been like that, though.
That's a very good little
Yeah.
combination going
So
on
it's
there.
a good menu. You can do the golf.
Smoky Trotters is a really good burger place here in Glasgow, by the way, guys, if you don't sure that
Yeah, like
was.
you dip it in the like crispy onions and all
Yeah,
that.
in the
Peppercorn
gravy.
sauce
God,
and
the
shit.
peppercorn sauce.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So they've got that, and then like in the corner they've got a few kind of looks like TV screens that are the dartboards. It's real darts, obviously. And you just choose like the games on the screen that you want to play.
Right.
So we did a wee quick round of that because we had a wee bit of time before our dinner. It was
Nice.
actually really fun.
Oh,
I
so you went
enjoyed it.
before?
Yeah.
Cute.
Jason won the golf, but it was actually more... He goes first, so like if one's quite hard, he doesn't really get to suss it out, but obviously I do through his shot.
Yeah.
So there was one that, you know, when you get to max 6, you just don't, like, you don't play the hole anymore, your score's just 6. He was at 6, and I kind of thought, how would you know that you had to whack it in?
Yeah.
So I was like, just make it 4, because I was winning anyway at this point. And then I had an absolute shiter in one of the ones, and he won. And I'm kind of like, technically, I think,
Technically, you
won.
won. Yeah.
but we'll just give it. But then I won at darts.
Wow.
Yep.
Did you get any bullseye?
No. How do people do that?
Fluke.
I started doing all that when I'm like shutting one eye and like maybe like my vision's looking at the wrong thing. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't actually aim for any number or any score. I just aim for it.
You just aim to get it on the board.
Yeah, exactly that.
And not in someone's eyeball.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
And there was a wee button to miss if you missed it. And Jason pressed me a couple of times, even though like I hadn't missed yet.
Oh, fuck. Cheat.
He has a cheat
So
game.
he's disqualified.
Bad loser. Yeah. He lost anyway, so fuck him.
Cheat.
Then on Saturday I went to a 30th in the Exchange. Lovely venue, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Lots of people are getting married there, aren't they?
Mm-hmm. It's actually quite nice for, well, I don't know how it'd be set up for a wedding. Obviously, I'm assuming differently, but the way it was, even for a party, there was kind of like the seats round the edge, a bars at one of the kind of corners, and then down the middle they had high seats, and then like a wee kind of narrow dance floor. So it was quite like it's technically a hall party, but it's not.
Yeah.
Because it's just more of a nice bar, but there's still enough space to boogie on down.
Was the DJ good?
Honestly, I can't mind. There's a wee like smoking area bit. I mean, I'm no smoker or anything, but we were sitting out there most of the night
All right.
because it was nice vibes out there.
So
I mean,
it's
it was good music, I
above.
could hear it.
It's above. It's Kong, but it's right opposite
Next
Kong.
door to Kong, above like the social, basically. Our friend Rebecca got married there when it was 29.
Fuck me, is that where it is?
Yeah. It's weird when places change. You almost totally forget what it was.
So it
before,
was
don't
called
you?
29 before. Now I know where we are. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
So
Well, we
Royal
went.
Exchange
Remember,
Square.
Chris took us to actually see it all being built. When ages ago.
Was that not when we were doing a Wonder Bar
A
event?
Wonder Bar event, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was saying this is going to be a really big wedding venue.
It was gorge.
Amazing.
So if anyone's looking for like private event or that, I would check it out. It's
And
nice.
you didn't get in until the early hours of the morning.
I can't even discuss
birds
it.
were tweeting.
The daylight was coming up and I was like, get me home.
Yeah.
It's not okay. And I had a Father's Day lunch the next day.
Oh my goodness God. Well, I was meant to come with you, but I was like, I can't. I've got too much going on. And no, me and Zoe together would just get carried away. It wouldn't be fun.
I've said it before, but I'm just one of those people that if there's anyone in the group that's like up for it, I'm instantly up for it too.
Yeah.
Whereas if everyone's quite mellow, I'm happy if a few and go home.
Yeah.
But I'm easily convinced and like easily swayed. Too easily, actually.
Yeah. And you don't, and there's just no persuading me. I'm out.
The only
So
way,
it wouldn't
the
be
only
good.
reason I went home is because I was like, it's not okay to still be out at this time. I could have stayed for hours longer. The night just went so quickly.
Yeah.
It's more that for me. Like the night wasn't really ready to be over. It just went so fast. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it was
You
good.
don't do it often, hey?
No, once a year. And then I went to Clubhouse for Father's Day lunch on Sunday. My dad and Adam.
That's an iconic place to go for your Father's Day, by
Pure
the way.
dad vibes, isn't
Yeah,
it?
isn't it?
Sporty dad
Did you
vibes.
suggest that?
Yeah.
Did you? That's nice.
And then we went to a few pubs around town that like my dad and Adam like, but I wasn't drinking. I drove in. I couldn't have faced a train.
No.
If I got on that train, I was never getting off it. I would just kept going back and forth till the day was over. Anyway, that's literally all I've been up to. What about you?
I've had a really busy week.
Here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, I have. From the podcast last week, I went to go and meet little Miss Winnie.
Oh, so you did.
She's gorgeous. And you're going to meet her on Sunday, aren't
Yeah.
you? Yeah. So I was there for a good few hours just in their little newborn bubble. It was really nice, actually. Rich came along and it was cute because Gillian and Andy obviously were looking at Jensen and how big he's got since they last saw him. And they're like, so when will she start doing this then? And when did he start doing that? And
Yeah.
I'm like, because he's exactly pretty much to the day 4 months. He's 4 months old tomorrow, Friday. So that'll be pretty much exact.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really nice. And then I went to London on my own. I did a solo trip to London on Thursday in about 24 hours. Me, typical me, nothing's changed. My friend said to me, right, I'm coming back from LA. So Charlotte, who was on the pod, I think I had said this, she was back for a bit. I know it's a big ask, but would you come down to London? Mm-hmm. I'm free on the Thursday. I was like, yeah, no problem, be fine. Like, of course it's fine. It just comes with me, right? And then came 2 days before and I thought, I'll actually book that, but I don't want to do the flight. Same situation to you. It was extortionately expensive.
Yeah.
I actually then looked at the thing of doing what Murray said, the tip about the £30
yeah.
thing, but I actually couldn't risk that because I didn't want to risk going on a 6-hour train with Jensen. I thought, for me, I need to get on the quickest one. Yeah, I booked it through Seat Frog, which is random. I thought that was just more of like an upgrade app.
I thought it was just that as well.
No, it's now like Trainline.
Right.
I booked that. Now, Avanti West Coast train, this is quite a good tip. They do a new carriage now called Standard Premium. Mm-hmm. So it's in between first class. It's still classed as first class, but it's you just don't get a £100 onion bhaji wrap. Like, what a fucking joke that is, by the way. So it's exact same, like seats, table. You don't get service, but you can just go down to carriage C, which is donkeys away, which was the only thing.
You're never near carriage C, by the way.
Never near it.
Like, have you ever been sitting near that? 'Cause
Never.
I've not.
Only if it's because unreserved seating, isn't it, in carriage C? So if you haven't reserved a seat, then you are flung in there. Anyway, the aisles were much bigger. So a few tips that I noticed, which I soon learnt. So if I was ever going to do that again, or anyone, because the amount of messages that I've had from people, in my head, I don't know much about parenthood. So for me, everything seems easy. He's just coming with me as I go, and I'll just deal with it when I deal with it. That's how I see Jensen and I, right?
Yeah.
So when I said I was going, people were like, oh my God, like, I can't believe you're doing that on your own. And I was like, why? What's going to happen to me? Like, I'm stressed. What's going to be bad? And nothing is bad. It's just hard. And there is a lot of things that you have to think about that you don't realise. So I took my travel stroller with me. Mm-hmm. Bear in mind, I've also got an overnight bag for me, an overnight bag for him. I try my best to pack minimum, which is hard. Mm-hmm. I then had him on the carrier, got on the platform at Motherwell. So I thought, oh, you know what? I'll drive to Motherwell Park for free. Mm-hmm. And it's one stop from Glasgow. And it's also closer to London, technically. Save yourself 15 minutes. I don't know where my carriage was. Because when the train comes, it's not the starting line. You have to know where to stand on the platform to get on.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So that bit for me was stressful. There was 3 girlies on the platform. A lot of people were going down to see Beyonce, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And they blessed them. They helped me on the train. Because I was like, fuck. Then I'm on carriage D. And like, oh, yeah, you're all the way back at carriage H. Obviously, the pram doesn't fit through. So then I'm looking at how to get the train conductor to carry me down. I've got Jensen fucking flinging about in the carrier on me. It was just, honestly, I thought I need to plan this better next time. So next time, I'd either get on at Glasgow.
Yeah.
So I've got more than enough time. Or I'd ask somebody to help me on the ground staff and say, get me on.
Yeah, because I'm sure when I went to... Where was I going? I was going somewhere from Motherwell recently as well on the train, and I asked where
would the
will each
carriage
one
be?
Yeah.
Right.
But there was someone kicking about because I'm sure there was a delayed train, so there was loads of people there.
Because sometimes on the screen, the LED screen, it tells you it didn't, that one. So I was like,
It either did or there was someone there, because I remember asking, because even if you've not got all that stuff, it's a bloody
it's a long train as well.
Yeah. But I do think, as you said, like, you're not really one for worrying about anything before it happens, whereas people just get so in their head. I think, especially with motherhood, it sounds
course,
like
like they
I've
get
obviously not been there.
anxious. Yeah.
Of like, how could I ever travel on my own? But how could you not? Like, it's just more preparation, and the moment might be harder. Like,
Yeah.
getting on the train is more difficult because, I mean, the main thing's really you've not got enough hands. That's the
it,
problem,
yeah.
really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, you've got...
And also you're having to deal with, and Jensen, you know, as you know, he doesn't really sleep. I knew he wouldn't sleep on the train. I didn't know we'd have that problem. Because he just wants to see everything and he's not comfy. He was fine. The way down he was fine. And for the most part, a lot of people were very nice. The train conductor actually bought me porridge and a coffee, which I thought was really sweet. Because I was like, oh, where's carriage seat? And he's like, oh, it's quite far away. And he says, oh, well, I'll get one of the girls to come and look after Jensen for you if you want, or your son if you want. And I was like, oh, obviously I'm not sure about that. I was going to get a random person to look after my child. So I was like, oh, no, it's okay. Don't worry. I'll just take him down with me. And then next minute he comes back with it for me. And I was like, oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah, that's cute.
Then two ladies opposite, like one either side, came up to me, you know, throughout the journey, like, do you want me to go and get you anything? And we're like, you're doing so well. And then we got to Preston, and I said this to you, but all like the finance bros got on to go to London, and I thought, fuck me. They've got their laptops out and they're not going to hate me. I'm there kicking about with this flipping 4-month-old. He starts going, they're all looking at me like,
life, isn't it? Like,
and one guy, I was at a table and two of them got the laptop out, and one man did look at me and he went, oh, I remember those days. And I thought, you know what? Fair fucks. Like, to me, I just thought he was going to be pissed off, but he was a dad. He was a dad. He got it. It'd been a long time. He's like, my kids are now 6 and 7, but, you know, it goes so fast. I remember those days. And he kept saying, it gets easier, you know. I was like, yeah, bloody better.
but I just think now, if I hear, and I've been at this for ages, even before you all had kids.
Yeah.
There's a switch where a baby crying isn't annoying anymore. It's more like I feel sorry for them because I know they'll be feeling stressed that people are getting annoyed.
I kept getting up, leaving the carriage to go in the middle bit. And this was like a span of like an hour of the 4.5 hour journey where he was really fussy. He was tired.
But he's 4 months old. Think about it. Also, a train is so stuffy and horrible as it
was
is.
hot.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I bought that fan. I fucked it with the fan. Anyway, all in all, it was great. What I didn't realise is when I got to London, the weather, it was 28 degrees and it was also stuffy. You know what it's like in a big city. And luckily I packed good for him. I didn't pack well for me. I'm not confident enough at the moment to get my arms out in a strappy top. So for me, I was wearing like this sort of stuff. And fuck me, I was so hot.
Awesome.
So I was getting a bit stressed with that. But I got to see Charlotte. We ate in some really nice places. I stayed at the 100 like you. Mm-hmm. I love Shoreditch. Shoreditch is where I sort of go every time. It's just easier. I love East. So yeah, that was really nice. We had 2 big double beds in the room. So that was quite handy. It was a big, fat, massive like family room. And then we met her dad. We went to eat. I wrote some down here because I actually can't remember the names. We ate at Delamina East. I ate there last time with them when I met them.
Never heard of that. Is it nice?
Really nice. Small plates, Lebanese style, I think. Mm-hmm. Really recommend that to you. You would love that. I also went to meet my friends Alicia and Harriet that evening, and we went to Los Mochi.
I've been there.
You know, they're Mexican.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's nice, but I went to the rooftop one in the city. Because there's one in Notting Hill that I've been to before, and I've been to the city one as well before.
Is it near right at the train train station?
It's near Broadgate Circle.
No, I think I was at another one.
It was mobbed. Like, you know, because it's a big, massive financial district.
Yeah.
All of, like, the guys in the suit, and they're all flipping on gear. You know, they love it, don't they, on a Thursday? They do. All the finance.
The weekend starts on a Thursday.
They absolutely are. Like, what's that film with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Wolf of Wall Street.
They're all Wolf of Wall Street. And, yeah, it was mobbed. Friday, ghost town.
I know, it's a bit like that. I think that too.
And do you know where I did eat as well the next day? That salad place called Attis. Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God, it was good.
I think I had one of them delivered, right, when I was doing, like, a shoot in London years ago.
Uh-huh.
But at that time, like, that probably wasn't really my thing.
You're right.
Like, all the bits in the one bowl, I was a bit like, ugh.
All the green.
But I have had it, and I know I would love it now.
It's just basically like a sprig.
Yeah.
But what I think these salad bars in Glasgow are missing is they toss it all.
Yeah.
So it's like,
mix
here's
it.
everything. They mix it all and they go to you, right, your sauce, tahini, do you want light, medium, or saucy? I was like, oh, I like that. I was like, I'll have medium, please. Mix it all. And it was like fillets of salmon on top or smoky, sticky chicken.
It does need mixed.
Yeah.
Because you eat it bit by bit, really, because it's like piled into a bowl.
Agree.
And you can't mix it because there's not enough space.
Couldn't agree more. And then I went for a really nice breakfast place, which if anybody is staying in East, you should go here because it's one of those breakfast spots where it's just like your usual fried breakfast, but it's done so well. And it's called Watch House. And I just had avocado, fried eggs with chili on the most amazing sourdough, but they put this lemon, I think it was lemon butter oil on the side. Fuck me, I'm doing that in the future. Iconic. Golden yolks, so good.
Yum.
Really good. So go there for your brekkie.
Did you go to the Scottish place you told me to go to?
No. Zoe, I had to stay in my little zone. I was
Fair
in
enough.
that. Oh, another good tip as well. I was thinking, how the fuck do I get in a taxi? Like, I don't have a car seat. Like, what's the crack with that? It's classed as public transport, so it's fine. But black cabs, you can just keep your pram up, put the brake on. Also, somebody did say that to me as well. They messaged me like, if you don't want to pay for the standard premium or first class, then you can reserve a seat in the disabled section. There's 2 carriages usually that have that, but you would obviously need to move if somebody came on, but it's good because you can keep the pram up.
Yeah, that's handy.
But yeah, I definitely recommend it, guys. I had a really good time. It was nice seeing my friends. It felt good to feel like a little bit like me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just have him there. They all loved it. I'm never going to have that opportunity to see Charlotte when Jensen's that young again. Likewise for my other friends in London. And he loved it. He loved being out and about. Everyone was stopping him. It was just fun. I loved being in London. It was great.
He likes being busy.
Yeah. Booked and busy, baby.
Na boot.
I had a nice matcha from a place called Jenki. Oh, it was bloody good.
Is that not the kind of like OG?
Yeah. It's just really good grade matcha. Yeah, so it was really nice. And I bought myself a little kit, bamboo whisk, which I've asked for Secret Santa every year. No one's bought it. Me.
Never noticed.
Zoe.
Did you put it on the system thing that we use?
No, but I think I may have mentioned it to you a few times. Anyway, I got myself a little whisk, the little spoon, the little pot of matcha. I made myself one yesterday. It was bloody gorge.
It did look nice, actually. They look gorgeous. They taste like absolute
It
shite.
tastes like ass.
They do.
Yeah.
I'll never be on board with it.
I
Sorry.
think that's it, guys. Sunday I went to Kelso, where Richard's dad's from. We had a nice lasagna, saw his dad. And then I took myself to parkrun. And I did parkrun on my own. Well, with 2 friends, but I ran on my own. On Saturday morning. I thought, fuck it. Raining, no headphones. Sports bra this time.
Do you not think the best weather for running is raining?
Honestly, Zoe, I thought the exact same thing. I thought, this is amazing.
It's a constant cool down.
And I did it. And I'm really proud of myself.
You should
I
be.
ran the 5K, slowest ever. Didn't give a flying fuck. It was amazing. And
Do you think once you get the running mindset, you kind of keep it?
Well, do you know what I noticed, right? The time that I did, I look back at my other part runs when I did them like 2 years ago. I'm pretty much maybe a little bit slower than what I was when I very, very, very first started getting into running.
Yeah.
The difference I felt where back then I was like, I want to stop at every few hundred meters. I hate this. I can't breathe. My lungs and my fitness, my stamina, is that what the word is? Like my stamina felt great. I thought, bloody hell, it's just my mind telling me that I'm a bit tired. My body's not there yet. Mechanically, I can't move like that at the minute. I'm over a stone heavier. Like things are feeling a bit different.
Yeah.
But fitness-wise, in my lungs, I felt fine. I thought I can do this. So I do think if anyone is listening to this and is pregnant or into fitness and they're worried that they're not doing a lot or putting pressure on themselves, trust me, it will come back. And the way I feel, even with Richard now, postpartum, maybe like, I think I started like 6 weeks postpartum, tried to do a reverse lunge. Oh my God, the pain. Most of that was probably to do with the section, but I felt like I was in pain. I just probably wasn't ready yet. And then now I did it, had a session with him yesterday. I'm absolutely fine now.
Yeah, it'll just take time.
Takes time. And in my head back then, I'm like, I want to be ready now. Why do I feel like this? It's going to take me ages. And I've barely done anything. But my body's just recovering still.
Yeah. But also, if you miss the gym for 1 week, you go back and you're sore the next day.
I know. I'm
Like
a bit sore today, actually.
Like it does, you need to keep going for it to not kind of fall back again.
But I'm not doing the running for like weight loss or anything like that. I'm doing it genuinely for like my head. Like for me, even the fact that I didn't wear headphones, I was like having an hour piece or 35-minute piece and running is just so good for me at the minute.
I don't think I need headphones at the gym.
Do you not?
Nah. I mean, if I've got headphones in and I'm running on a treadmill, what do you think I'm listening to?
Disney.
Like, I've got Wicked on. Like, I'm not... honestly, hand on heart, that's what I'd be listening to. I think it's quite motivational. But music doesn't, like...
Get you going.
No, it doesn't pump me up.
Oh, it does for me.
Nah.
Big time.
I know it does for most people, but it doesn't really make a difference to me. I hate it regardless.
I'm just a massive house music lover.
I think it's because that's not really my...
It's not really your thing.
No, so like I don't really have pump music.
No, I
all
love
my
it.
music's quite depressing.
Like if I was in a car, that's one thing I do miss actually having a child.
Blaring the music.
Yeah. I love it. And when he's not in the car, I am loving it, thriving.
House music though?
Oh yeah.
No, see, I've got like the ballads on. I'm singing from the rooftops. Nothing annoys me more when I'm at a good part of a song and I need to stop at traffic lights or somebody next to me.
Yeah, and you have to turn it down because you're embarrassed.
I'm put it. Sometimes I actually pause it.
Really? And then you're like,
Get
right,
back when I'm
play.
ready.
Boom, boom.
Nothing makes me happier than singing in the car. Like, that's my time.
Really?
Yeah. See, if someone's in it, I'm like, you this morning, I'm like, get it.
Yeah, I do love ballads as well. There's a time and a place for that though, I think. You know, if I'm in a long, long car journey down to Leicester, I'll have my eras. So it's like, right, now it's time for a bit of like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion.
You're moving through it.
Then we've got the house, and then we've got the David Grays. Country's more for Alexa if I'm cooking. I would never be playing house music in my house.
No.
And then I used to love grime music and like hip hop, but I'm a little bit over that now. Stormzy hasn't bought an album out in 5 years. Like, come on, to fuck, mate. We're bored now. And Rihanna, when's she coming back?
I don't know if she ever will. Is she not up the duff again?
Fuck off.
She's a goner. I think she's gone. I think we leave her back in the 90s or whenever she was relevant.
She's a goner.
90s? What age am I making her? 40?
Beyonce's still flipping, swinging her bloody wig all over the flipping.
Can't stand her. Can I say something, by the way?
Of course.
I don't think Blue Ivy's a good dancer. There, I said it.
Wow.
She's stiff.
She's getting better though. She's loosening up the limbs
Do
a little.
you not think she's a bit stiff though as well?
I think she looks exactly like her mother.
No, she does. I've been watching quite a lot of videos because I do agree she's loosening up.
Yeah.
But see, especially at the start, everyone was raving over her. I'm like, she looks as if she's in training.
Zoe.
It looks like the rehearsal.
Zoe. If you were 10 years old and you were playing on a world tour in front of 60,000 people, fair fucks, honey.
No, but I would have attitude, I think. Like, I would all, like, the pure head attitude and that dancers have. I think she's very...
You wanted her to give more of, like, Kanye's kid. What's her name? North. She
but dancers
is
do
like
that.
one extreme to the other.
But that is what dancers do. Like, they've got the facial expressions and, like, the head movements and a bit of attitude about them.
The stanky face.
Yeah, whereas she's quite...
Yeah, sour face.
Yeah, like, there's no emotion.
She's in the zone. She's probably just trying
I
to...
feel like her head
Remember, because she's got to do it
move.
with all the backing people as well. I'd be a bit robotic. I'd be terrible.
But you're not a dancer, she is. That's what I mean.
If she's 10. Maybe she's not 10.
I don't think she's 10.
Nah.
13.
How old?
13.
All right. Same.
No, I think absolutely fair fucks her. Like, I think it's so cute as well that it's like her mum singing and all that, right? But I'm like, you need to loosen up a bit. And if I was another dancer in that, I think I'd be fuming.
Yeah. Nepo baby, get off.
Yeah, no, get to fuck. I'm better than you. Fucking 13-year-old. Peasant.
Nepo baby.
Anyway.
Tell you where I went actually after Park Run, quickly for any local girlies. I went to Homegrown, where we love going, Homegrown Garden Centre, but they've expanded now.
An expansion?
Yeah, so it's really big. So if you ever do go to Homegrown, because it's a little bit out of the way, in the middle of nowhere, if you get there and you turn up and you can't get a table, you're a bit pissed off.
Yeah, like, where else are you going really?
But it's big now, so I'd go. The food is really nice there, actually. Yeah. So that was a nice little post-run brunch. And then yesterday I met Richard's sister and we met at Kelvin Grove Cafe. I may have said this before in the pod, but I think that is an unsung hero of a brunch spot.
You did, and I've still not been.
Excellent quality food. I think I had trout rather than smoked salmon. By the way, way prefer trout over smoked salmon. Have you ever had it?
No.
It basically looks the exact same, right? But it's just nicer quality. It's softer. It's less fishy. I bloody love it. More sustainable as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sustainable queen,
Yeah,
are we?
they don't do like smashed avocado because, it's not good for the planet. So they do smashed peas instead.
Why is smashed avocado not good for the planet?
There was a big movement around it a while ago, so some brunch places don't do it anymore. Apparently not
What
good
the
for the
hell?
Is it the rainforest or something?
I think it's very intensive to grow. So I think it's a bigger process to farm it than just anything
Yeah,
else.
because if you think about it, right, avocado a few years back was
Wasn't it a
just not a
thing?
thing.
It
Like,
wasn't?
people didn't buzz off it. And now it's like on demand. Avos are on demand, right? So
Big up the avos.
then everybody became vegan. So then it's like, fuck, that's all the for breakfast is avocado for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So the avocado, community was fucked.
I think what we need to ask everyone is, do we actually really like it?
Zoe, yes. Stop trying to make this a thing. I love avocado.
Well, so do I. But what I mean, like, is do we actually though?
But do you know what I will say? It's
Like, do
rotten when
we-
when it's not ripe enough.
Yeah.
Bit like a banana.
Or
rotten.
overripe?
Uh,
Yeah, there's a sour taste.
but bananas are the same though, don't you think?
Yeah, a banana needs to be the perfect yellow for me.
Yes.
I can't do any hint of green, and I can't do any hint of brown.
The green. Oh my god! And when you peel it and it makes that ripping
It's
noise.
like stuck to the skin still.
Yeah, perfectly good ripe avocado is fantastic. Sliced very thinly, gorgeous. A little bit of smoked chili sea salt on top. Fried egg. Has to be golden yolk. I could eat that every day.
What do you mean golden yolk? They're not all gold.
No, but I mean a good quality egg. That's like a really rich orange yolky colour.
Jason's in a moment right now where he eats eggs every single day, right? 4 eggs scrambled for his breakfast. Could never do that on their own.
With anything else?
No, like bread in it and
Oh,
out of a bowl with cheese through
wow.
it. Anyway, and he's like, you can really taste the difference between a good and a bad egg. And I'm like, we're not doing this.
Sorry, I agree with him. Sorry. You're preaching to the wrong person here.
No, I know, that's why I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
An egg's an egg to me, I think.
Nah, it's not when you have a good one.
He likes Marks and Spencer's organic.
Wow.
Fair fucks them.
Love that.
Just give me anything, I'll do.
Anyway, yeah, so I want to tell you about Homegrown. Kelvin Grove Cafe, my sister-in-law had a French onion soup. Oh my bloody God, it looked good. And we love a
Wow.
French onion soup.
We do.
We need to see if it rivals Maison.
Not sure about. Are you looking to buy your first home and don't know where to start?
Well, don't worry, our friends at Waterman's will do all of that stuff for you.
They won't be packing your boxes for you, but they'll do everything else.
So for straightforward legal advice, remember Waterman's. So let's get into our topic. We asked you guys for some dating stories.
Yep. Disasters, awkward moments, anything. I love it because I've got none.
Well, I pissed the bed from that shag a few years back, but that was about it. Well, you girlies know that. If you're new here, yeah, it's a few seasons back.
Tell them.
Oh, God, Marie, why'd you do this to me? Yeah, so I met a guy, I really, really liked him so much. And went back to his house, pissed as a fart, and I pissed his bed. And I got called Pissy Pants for years afterwards, actually. And I can't say this next bit, we'll say that for Patreon.
Years ago now, met a boy in Jelly. If you know, you know. Do you know what Jelly is?
No.
It was an old club in Glasgow. And later matched with him on Tinder. We spoke for months, but he always seemed to make an excuse when I brought up meeting up. I was too naive to see what that meant. Eventually went on a date to the cinema. All went well and said we would meet up at Jelly the following night. Met up at Jelly, chatted, kissed, etc. I went dancing with my pal for a bit and later seen him stood at the bar kissing another girl, knowing I was in the same club. Found the nearest unattended drink and chucked it over him to his horror as he was wearing his favourite top. First and only time I've chucked a drink over someone and would highly recommend when necessary. People do just love a disco winch though.
Yeah.
Like, no, not enough people is enough for folk on a night. Do you know what I mean? Just keep it going.
Feel like you girls will appreciate this one. So way back when I used to use Tinder for a game to pass the time in the evening, I used to do that. I fucking loved it. Never had the intention to meet up. And this story firms that up to me. I was chatting to this guy who ticked a lot of boxes, to be honest. He asked to go on a date. And by all accounts, sounded lovely. He was 6'8". Jesus Christ.
That's a bit too tall, isn't it?
Fucking hell. And looked nice in his pictures until I realised he never smiled with his teeth. I went on a mad stalking binge on all platforms to see if he had tombstones for teeth. In the meantime, he thought it would be a good idea to start sexting. This was his line. Ugh. I can't wait to kiss you from your ankle, working my way up to your knee, where I would work on your clit before carrying on. This was it for me. Couldn't have those tombstones gnawing on my knee or my clit. Tragic.
Tombstones.
Anyway, I love the pod. Keeps me sane. Praying for an event with you in Leicester soon. Oh, oi, oi.
Tombstones. No. This is going to sound terrible, but I went on a date with a guy I had mutual friends with. We met for drinks and I saw he was missing a finger and one hand and immediately put me off him and I don't know why. Poor guy.
Girl, you're going to hell. You're going to hell.
I'll see you there, hen. Would that put you off?
Listen, if he lost his finger from like real like macho story like chainsaw wars, fair fox, he'd probably be very good with the other hand. No, I don't know if he would put me off. No. Maybe when I was a younger girl, yeah, but as I'm older now.
I think if it was like a pinky tip, it wouldn't. But I think if it was like half your middle finger.
Nah, I think it depends what they're like though. If they're quite rugged in that, I'd be like, ooh, I like that. It's a bit of a look.
No, I don't know. I don't know how I think that's a look.
My friend went on a few dates with this guy, really nice lad from home, and ended up in a shitty nightclub in our hometown after going out for some drinks. My friend went to the toilet and he was still sitting there at the table when the club lights came on. Whilst he was stood with her jackets, the club emptied quite fast. Confused as to where she was, the staff had tied it up and were also leaving, and he was told he needed to leave the club because it was closing time. He left gutted, thinking that she'd done a runner and ghosted him. Her phone was off and he thought she wasn't really into him after all. He went home nursing a kebab, a bit gutted but confused. Anyway, a few hours later when our WhatsApp group was kicking off about 5 a.m, I was on night shift in A&E at the time and she was fucking locked in the club. After falling asleep in the toilet, sending us voice notes, we couldn't make out what she was saying as the club alarm was going off so loud.
No.
The alarm then sent a notification to the police station, who called the club, peering out the tiny wee window of the club front door, chapping so the police would hear her, and they drove away. I had to get the police who were in the A&E department to call in and send cops round to save her. The owner opened the door and freed her. We were raging at her and she got bored. Luckily she was absolutely fine and they are now married.
What the fuck? Also, surely in a club they check like all the toilets and all that, because that must happen loads.
Yeah.
By the way, all I thought that whole time was I would have a panic attack and die. Imagine being locked in a club like that.
It would be awful. Imagine it being on
And
like a
you'd be
Sunday
in a
night
bit
and
like-
open again on a Thursday. You'd die. That could be a
You would
great horror
die.
film.
Because think how dehydrated you've already been from drinking.
Yeah.
Nah. Another story from my Tinder days. I met a guy for drinks and liked him enough to go back to his. I was defo braver when I was younger. I asked to use the toilet and he said, "Oh, I'll take you to it." Took me up the stairs and waited for me whilst I was in there. Red flag. Then when I got out, he said, "I want to show you something."
Oh.
And took me to the room next door and said, "What do you think?" All I could see was a big tent and my young naive self thought it was a spray tan tent and said, "Oh, do you do spray tans?"
What?
Nope. Turns out he was growing weed and had a full setup. Such a weird situation to be in. I was out of there.
Why would you be proud and show off your flipping plants?
I think people who are into that are quite, like, you're into it.
You're proud.
Yeah. You're into the
I thought it
ganja.
was going to be like a big dungeon of a tent, like sex dungeon tent or something. You're going to tell me
a bit of
that.
50 Shades going on.
Yeah. My friend went on a coffee date with a guy to Cafe Nero. He ordered himself a drink and a cake, and they had just started chatting when he shoved half the cake in his mouth. She instantly got the ick at how much he had just bit off, and then was chewing with his mouth open. Oh no, I'd hate this. He then screwed his face up and spat the full thing back out into his bare hand.
No.
Said he didn't like that cake. Dumped his chewed up cake on the plate and went back to get himself a different one.
No.
She was left with her jaw on the floor and wanted to run a mile as the shop was busy and people around him were like, what the fuck? She didn't ever meet him again. I do think things like that are really, for me, if I was on a date, right, it's been a long time, but I think if I was on a date now, I'd definitely look at what they would order,
Yeah.
how they treated the waiting staff,
Yep.
and yeah, if they chewed with their mouth open.
All of that
Or
is the
waited
ick
for me to start or everything to come on the table. I hate that.
Even a first date ordering a drink and a cake, like, just get a drink.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to eat right now.
Imagine if you were, oh my God, no, imagine this, right? You are in a nice fine dining state restaurant and you order a glass of wine, he orders a pint of Guinness. Thoughts? For me, that's just a hard no.
I think a vodka and something's worse.
It is. I don't mind a lager, but a Guinness, which I love, with a meal, is a meal. That's a meal in a meal.
No, I do agree with you.
That's so specific.
It is though, don't you think? That's a meal, you greedy pig.
But I'll have a main and 3 sides, a glass of wine, a cocktail, and then I'll get a dessert.
But how dare you have a pint of Guinness?
Yeah, agree.
Ugh. No, I hate it. Like, my dad drinks Guinness all night, every night, and I think, you must be stuffed. Them farts the next day, absolutely never.
The farts.
Did I tell you when I went to the Dublin factory with my dad and did Guinness? I was farting my way around that rooftop bar. Honest to God.
Can I tell
I
you?
nearly
I'm not
took
sure. I'm not sure I've ever tried it.
It's nice with a bit of blackcurrant. But then again, you don't like match. It's an acquired taste. You have to keep drinking it. And then you're like, oh, okay. It's bitter.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I have or not.
Your gut would absolutely not agree with that, by the way.
I started dating a guy and he suggested that we go to DiMaggio's in town for something to eat. Lovely, or so I thought. There's your first problem. Met him on the train. Met him on the train. We got meeting someone on the train. Bye.
Wow.
I know.
That's brave.
We got off the train and he started walking towards an Enoch Centre. I stopped him and said, aren't we going the wrong way? To which he replied, no, DiMaggio's is in St Enoch Centre. So you're telling me I just spent hours getting ready to go to a shopping mall food court for some school dinner macaroni. Anyway, I got my way and we headed to the actual DiMaggio's restaurant in Royal Exchange Square. All was going well until his carbonara arrived. He continued his conversation with a mouthful of food and ended up in our jug of cocktail, in my glass, on my plate, on the table and on the floor. He was completely unaware that this was happening. I was mortified. Safe to say, I suggested we stayed friends after this experience. I'd need to get up and leave instantly. If anything comes out your mouth whilst you're talking to me, I will be sick.
I cannot. I don't know. It's just a really hard one, especially imagine if they had something all in their teeth as well and you're not that into them at the start to even say, like,
you get
something in your teeth.
But then if you got home and you had something in your teeth...
I'd be mortified. That happens to me a lot as well. I get stuff in my teeth all the time.
I just think if I was to date now, like, I would just be so as if I'm a robot because I'm just act out by everything for a start.
You are.
But I'd be so conscious of myself too.
Yeah.
About, like, having something in my teeth or spitting whilst I'm eating or whatever that I would just almost do nothing.
I don't know what. I would actually love to see myself in another life of what I would be like dating now at this age. Really, really intrigued.
I don't think I would ever be like a serial dater. I don't think it's for me.
No, I'm not brave enough for that.
I don't enjoy it. I don't find dating an enjoyable experience until you're with them.
The small talk.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm not an eater either. Like, I don't want to go out for dinner.
Do you not?
No, because if you order something weird, I'm out.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is? I'm trying to avoid me getting put off you so quick. Like, it's for your benefit, not mine.
What would you do though? Where would you go? What would you suggest? Golfing?
Drinks.
I know, but then you end up shagging them. You would, let's be honest. I would.
Because you get drunk.
Yeah.
And you do that.
And I don't want to do that.
You probably act a bit more like into it, even if you're not, because you're a bit boozy.
Yeah. I shagged Richard on the first date, but I just got pissed and I really liked him.
I don't even think guys think that. I think they think fucking
And I was speaking to him for about 2 months before, but I was nervous. And I think when you're just like, oh my God, I've fucked it. I should have done my 3-date rule thing.
No, I know what you mean.
And then I didn't.
I do know what you mean.
And I think a lot of the time as well do you know what? To be fair, listen, we're all adults here. You end up getting drunk, right, and you shag them and you realise actually it was really crap sex or you didn't have that sexual connection with each other and you've got it over and done with and you're like, you know what, shit, bye.
I know, because I do think people build such a relationship with someone before that, not knowing if they're into them in that way, and then what if you're not?
Exactly.
And then you've kind of like, you're into someone but you're missing something that's quite important.
Yeah.
I feel there's a fine line. I think a couple of dates, give it a bash.
I used to always have like a 3-date rule thing, I think. If I remember, it's been that long, but I do think in my head I was like,
I think I've been on 3 dates my whole life. That's just not for me, that awkwardness. I can't cope with it. It's too much.
Right, we've got more embarrassing stories, but we'll save that for Patreon. We also have a
dilemma
that we should read out, and then we've got more of them as well. Sounds pathetic. But I actually feel so lonely. My friends don't want to do much anymore. Honestly,
I think that's really sad.
that is really sad. But do you know what I was thinking this the other day, actually? I think motherhood can be quite lonely, right? And from the outside, you probably think that someone like me, I'm always doing something, I've always got... But I'm not. A lot of the time, I genuinely am 85% on my own, right? And my brain is filled with obviously looking after a little human, but it can be a lonely time.
Yeah.
And I do think that other girlies around, because everyone's moving on in their life, or they've got a partner, people aren't going out as much. A lot of people are feeling that. They just don't admit it. And I think a lot of people are lonely, but they probably don't realise.
You also don't need to be alone to feel lonely.
Yes, very true.
That's an important point.
That's very true. You could be around people that don't fill your cup, or you just, you definitely feel like something's missing. And I guess as I've got older in my life and everyone is going off in their different directions, there is, I do miss that connection of, just hanging out with your friends when you should just come around and you just chill in your bedroom and that.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore in adult life. Things have to be planned weeks in advance, and that can be quite hard. I think sometimes you're like, fuck me, all I want to do is just see my mates, but I have to schedule them in 3 weeks in advance. I think I'm trying to make you feel better here, but I reckon a lot of people are quite lonely.
Yeah.
And you're not, and that in itself, I think, is probably quite comforting. Doesn't solve the issue, but we're all in it together, and I think we maybe just need to...
I think sadly it's a wee bit part of growing up.
Also, I don't know your situation. You might be like you've just said, you might have a group of friends, but you still really feel like something's missing, or I need to find my people. Maybe you're wanting a partner and you don't have one, or you're not going out to find one, like we've spoke about loads of times before. No one goes out anymore to meet people organically, which can be difficult. Real connections all seem to be just very few and far between, because everything's online, swipeable.
Yeah. My initial thought of advice would be like, get into something that you enjoy, because you meet new people that way. Like, for example,
hobbies.
Gym. I know it's not everyone's thing, but especially classes or gyms that are based around classes are so good for, like, you do chat before and after if you want to.
Yeah.
Like, there's always people wanting to chat about it and stuff like that. Or even like the Pilates class that I go to most weeks, like, you naturally have a wee, like, how hard was that with people, and like, you never know what that could come to.
What it could lead to, yeah.
Especially if you would like to build your, like, I'm quite in my own lane because I don't want to talk to anyone.
Yeah.
But if you did want to, like, you could easily spark up conversation and things like that. Or like a book club.
Yeah. I was going to say a book club, yeah.
There's loads of, like,
loads of things you can do.
If you can make the effort to look into it, there's actually loads of things you could go to.
Yeah.
Even like there's walking clubs, running clubs.
Yeah, running clubs are good, yeah.
Loads of things like that. And I think there is certain people that go to stuff like that, and it's all because they're
feeling the same.
They're either feeling the same, or they maybe want to meet new people or new friends. So I think it's kind of like a general aim.
Yeah.
I don't think you're going to a running club if you just want to run your own. You would just run on your own then. So you're wanting to chat to folk.
Meet people. There's loads of good running clubs, by the way. I don't know where you're based, but in Glasgow there's loads of really good ones that you could go to. Or come to one of our events.
Our events are good for stuff like that, actually.
Come to one of our events.
Meet friends.
Like-minded people. Join Patreon. Go into the group chat. Suggest in there, says anybody else, like, trust me, there's so many people that have sent in messages to us saying that they would love to meet friends, or they're struggling to meet like-minded people. Everybody that listens to this podcast surely has one common thing in common.
Absolutely. Well, they do, because they listen to our podcast.
That's what I mean. So
that
there's loads of chit-chat. On our Patreon, we also have group chats. We've got a book club group chat.
Booked and busy.
Yeah, we can add as many group chats as you want. If you want us to organise a meet-up group chat on there, you can absolutely do that. We should do that. That would be really nice, actually.
Yeah.
Really sorry that you're feeling that way, but hopefully it's just a little blip and you won't be feeling that way for too long.
We'll drop you a message to see if we can help you with anything.
Sending you a big, big hug. Right, before we leave and move on to Patreon, I've got a quick tip that I want to say on the main and not Patreon.
For everyone.
Okay? So I'm going to Kefalonia in a week.
That's soon, by the way.
Yes. I'm not going to be able to give you an update for a few weeks, though, because we're doing a double record next week, aren't we, before we leave?
Yeah.
But I'm really excited. I can't wait to update you on that, guys. But I saw on Instagram, it was actually a girl called Melfi is her Instagram. She did this thing at Glasgow Airport, but it's actually all UK airports, a lot of UK airports. If you fly with EasyJet, TUI and Jet2, and it's called Twilight. And it's really good if you live near an airport or if you're staying at a hotel near an airport. And ideal if you have children, I think. Personally, this is why I'm going to do it. So I've got a flight at 6 a.m. the next morning and I've got big suitcases. For me, when you have a big suitcase, you have to get up 2 hours. You have to be there, 2-3 hours before to get in the queue. That's me getting up at like 2 in the morning, 3. You're fucked. What they do is if your flight is before 12 o'clock that day, which mine is at 6, you can drop your luggage off check the airline, but Jet2 is between 4:30 p.m. and 9 p.m. the night before. One person needs to go with all of the passports from the people in the group booking. So I'll be taking Jensen and Richard's passport with me. I'll just take my suitcase, drop it off. So the next morning we can have an extra couple of hours in bed, get through and go straight to security. You have to check in before you go. So you need to be already checked in, take your passports. You get free parking in the multi-story so it doesn't cost you.
That's good.
Yep. Because honestly, some people will be like, well, what's the point? I'm paying for luggage to go and queue up. But you get 1 hour free parking in the multi-story.
And where are you flying from, Glasgow?
Yeah. So for me, it's a piece of piss. Glasgow Airport's so close to me.
Yeah.
So it's not far. But for me, I'm going to do that because it will just make my life so less stressful. The last thing I want to do is in the morning is have him queuing up. I can't predict if he's going to be crying, standing there, I'd just rather get in, get to security, get on the plane and let's get it over and done with.
Yeah.
So I thought I would share that tip because I never knew about it.
That is good.
And someone just messaged me here to say that the small T's and C's in Jet2, you actually get an extra 10 kg luggage.
What?
If you have a child. Hi girls, just listened to the recent ep. I flew with my baby with Jet2, and just to let you know, you get an extra 10 kg on your checked-in case with a baby. So you get 32 kg. They don't really make this known, but if you look at the T's and C's online, it's on there. So just double check that, guys. But I might
that's
chance
well
that.
good if that's true, by the way.
And you get your stroller and you get your car seat.
That's a good chunk of extra weight.
And I'm going to maybe shove a few little things in my stroller bag.
Oh, yeah.
Flat pack things. Because they don't check inside
The
it.
wee tops and that.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought I'd let you know that because we like talking about travel and stuff. So I thought I'd let you, any of you mamas out there, or anyone else that's living close to an airport.
Absolutely.
You had to, let's say, for example, you had to go down to Manchester and you're like, fuck me, I've got a 5 a.m. flight in the morning. Go and drop it off the night before.
It's also quite good if people work.
Yes.
We used to use that at work when you had like 10 big suitcases.
Exactly.
You're all having to lug them home the night before
Events
and take them
and that.
back and all that.
Yeah.
That
But
was miserable.
it's only certain airlines, certain airports. So check
Yeah.
up. It's called Twilight. Google it. You don't
Love
have to
it.
book it.
Well, we'll see you over on Patreon for more dating dilemmas.
Yeah,
and
baby.
stories.
And I've downloaded a few books from holiday, so I'll let you know on them as well. I
Love
think you've
it.
read one of them. Right, guys. See you
Thanks
next
for
week.
listening and watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Make sure you sign up to our YouTube, subscribe, like, and all that good stuff. Love you so much. Bye.
Mwah.